As a thank you for all your support and to celebrate 1000 subscribers, I have created this comprehensive time-lapse tutorial which covers everything from your very first shot using DSLR or video to editing that video or time-lapse in 3 software packages. And I provided you with 600 shots for you to practice with, the links in the description. You can create a time-lapse by stitching together a series of images or by speeding up a video. They're your 2 main options. Creating using a video is easier. Creating with a series of images gives you a much better output at the end. I show you how to do both of these approaches in 3 editing programs: Windows Movie Maker, Adobe Premiere and Sony Vegas. I haven't covered Lightroom, but if I do receive enough requests, then I'll make one. First off, I cover the basics. I do go into a little bit more detail using a DSLR, but you can create a time-lapse using one of these, and even one of these. Whichever you use, make sure you have a tripod. It doesn't need to be expensive, you can always add weight to it later, but having a tripod is one of the most important things. If the camera is quite small, such as a standard point and shoot with video mode, you can even use a small tripod like this. It will suffice, it isn't ideal, but it will work. Keeping the camera still is the most important thing for a time-lapse. So if you've got a DSLR or you're thinking of getting one, I recommend getting an intervalometer. You don't need an expensive one. This cost me less than £15 and it's worked great for the last 3 years. What this allows you to do is choose when the time-lapse will begin. This comes under delay. It lets you choose how long you want the shutter to remain open. This comes under long. This basically refers to how much light is coming onto the sensor, but also whether there's any motion. The interval refers to the gap between the shutter clicks or activations. Finally, N is the number of pictures that you want. I tend to keep this on continuous so you don't miss anything. Also, you can turn off the sound. If you want to get through a time-lapse with your sanity intact, I recommend switching this off. Next is to set up your shot. I won't go into too much detail on camera settings as I cover that in another tutorial, but do consider your shutter speed and then shape the rest around that. If you want a crisp, clean shot, such as clouds passing by, then a higher or faster shutter speed is ideal. If you want some motion blur, such as people moving in the background or flowing water on a stream, then think about having a lower or slower shutter speed. This is also ideal if you're trying to capture light in dark settings, such as a time-lapse of the night sky. Here's an example of the difference between a fast and slow shutter speed. Moving on. Once you've got your shots, you need to knit them together into a film. Now, to give you something to practice with, I've shared 600 shots with you, which look like this when put together. To get these, go to my website, the link's in the description, click on tutorials, and scroll down to find the link. As these are from Dropbox, they do take a while to download, so you're probably best starting that off now and then coming back to the video later. So we'll start off with Movie Maker and how to create a time-lapse using images. But if you do have Vegas or Premiere, you can jump to these time points, or if you want to skip the photo section and learn how to do this using video, you can jump to these time points. Now, start up Movie Maker, click on Import Video and Images. Now with Windows Movie Maker you can't import using image sequence, so you need to click on the first picture, press Ctrl and A to select all your images. Then go to Import. This will bring in all 600 images or all your time-lapse pictures. Once that's loaded up, so you need to press Ctrl and A to hide them all, and you need to make sure that all your images are selected. Go to Edit, so we're going to go for 0.051, and as you can see that's sped up the video quite nicely. When you're happy with that, you're going to save the film as 1080p. Create file name and click Save, and that will then render. So once you've opened up Adobe Premiere, You can select a 4K time-lapse, but we'll just go for 1080p on this one because we're going to be uploading it to YouTube, and at the moment YouTube doesn't allow you to upload 4K videos. You can open your project in a number of ways. You can double click here, or you can go to File and then Import and locate the images. As you can see, I've already downloaded these from the website. Click on your first image and then click this box here, Image Sequence, and that will then import all your images as a video file rather than importing all 600 images like we saw in Windows Movie Maker. Now you can, like any other video, choose the in and out for Premiere, but we're just going to go ahead and drag this entire video into the timeline. The photo file is closer to 4K than it is 1080p. Just click Keep Sequence Settings, but what you'll notice is that it will zoom in into the image, so we're missing a lot of detail in the right image compared to the left being as the file looks like, the right being the image preview. What you want to do here is right click on the timeline, click Scale to Frame Size, double click on the video, and then you can move this around and stretch it out to remove those horrible black bars. And then just click Render. Now you can either render by pressing the Enter key, or you can skip this process and go ahead and jump straight to render. We're going to speed this up. I tend to render in H.264, which is MP4. Scroll all the way down and find the video that matches the settings that you want. Then click Use Maximum Render Quality, and when you're ready, press Export. Moving on to Sony Vegas. Once you've booted up Sony Vegas, go to File, go to Import, choose Media, locate the file containing your time-lapse, click on the first image, click Open Sequence, then click Open. Now, unlike Premiere, what you can do now is you can actually name that sequence, so you can choose whatever you want here. What that has done is created a video rather than importing all 600 images. Choose the video settings that you want. Now you can choose up to 4K in Sony Vegas as well. If you want to do that, that's fine. Just bear in mind that you can't upload that at the moment onto YouTube. Maybe you can in future. Now, like in Premiere, you get these horrible black borders when you change from 4K down to 1080p, and it doesn't matter what you do to the settings, these will still be there. But to get rid of them, you click here, which is Event Pan Crop. Place your cursor over the image, right click, and then go down to Match Output Aspect. And there you go. What that's done is removed your borders, and you can move this around to how you like. Just make sure you get rid of the black lines either side. And when you're happy with that, you can render your video. Just close that down, go to File, go to Render As. My template here. Do feel free to pause the video at this point and use these settings. Just put that up a little bit, and then press OK, and then render, and you're done. That will create a time-lapse from images, which will look very much like the one on my channel that you can use for free. Okay, so now you've actually done the hard part, which is creating a time-lapse using images. The easier part is creating a time-lapse using video. And what we're going to do is add photos or videos, add your video. This one you can get on my website as well. It's an airplane taking off. We'll import that. Click on Edit, And then you've got your speed here, and we'll make this 30 times speed. See what that looks like. That's not bad. 8 seconds, you're in the air. Beautiful. It's pretty quick. We could try 16 times instead. That's fine, that's better. That's good, we'll go with that one. And then you just click Save Movie, High Definition, and then just call it whatever you want. So, airplane, time-lapse, and then save, and away you go. Okay, so for Adobe Premiere, and this time we'll import, the same as before, double click, working, and just press keep existing settings, just right click, speed, duration, and if you go a smaller percentage it slows the video down, but we want to increase it, so we're going to go for, we'll say 10 times as fast, see what happens then. There we go, 10 times as fast brings about 20 seconds, that's fine, but I'd like to go a little bit quicker than that, I don't want it quite so long, so we'll go for 2000% speed, there you go, that's better. Hit enter to render, and then it's going to render those frames so it's double the speed, and you're done. Now I'm just going to pretend that's done. You just go to File, Export, Media, choose the settings you want, maximum quality, and then export. Done. And then that will render the sequence. And finally, Sony Vegas Pro for creating time-lapse using video. Set the settings as you want. File, Import, Media. Locate the file that you want to speed up. Bring that in. That goes into your project media file. Find the end of your video, and you'll see that you can crop the video, but we don't want to do that. What we want to do is we want to speed this video up. So you press the control button, and then you see that little wavy line comes underneath the video, and you just left click and then just drag it down all the way until it reaches maximum. Okay, so when you brought it to your desired length, you just go ahead and press File and then Render As, and then choose your render settings. And that's basically it for Sony Vegas. And finally, a pretty cool app called Lapse It. It allows you to take time-lapse footage with your smartphone. You can get this on Android, on iOS, and I believe you can also get it on Windows phones. It's really intuitive, really straightforward. You've got 3 options: New Capture, Gallery, Settings. To take a time-lapse, you press New Capture. You've got your capture button, you can change the amount of shots per millisecond or per second, and you've got a range of options within the app. Now, the same advice as before, you really do need a stabilizer of some description. What I recommend you use is a suction cup car mount. You can get a universal one for less than £5. Once you've taken your shots, you can either render it straight away or you can save it for later. If you go into your gallery, choose one of your time lapses, click on View Details, and then it comes up with an option on rendering this file. You can trim it, so if the first few shots are a little bit shaky, you can get rid of those. Choose how many frames you want per second. You can label your video, and then just click Create Video, and that creates a time-lapse for you, which looks something like this. If you're interested in how I got this pan effect using Lapse It, let me know, and if I get enough requests, then I'll create another tutorial on that. Thanks for watching, I hope you found it useful, and remember, there are hundreds of clips available to download and reuse for free. All I ask is that you provide credit when you use them, and that you don't re-upload the videos in their raw form. Thanks for watching.